Let's go Dolphins! Stop scrolling for a second, because what I'm about to tell you could be the reason this team explodes in 2026 or completely frustrates the fans once again. There's a change being discussed that seems good at first glance, but when you really understand it, it raises some serious questions that nobody is discussing yet. And I'm warning you, this is the kind of decision that separates title contenders from mere extras. So, before I reveal everything, do it right now, like if you still believe in this team, no matter what happens. And in the comments, I only want the truly optimistic fans. Type, Go Dolphins! Alright, let's get straight into it. With the 11th overall pick, Miami had a golden opportunity. Two elite prospects sitting right there, Carnell Tate, the wide receiver out of Ohio State, and Ruben Bain Jr., one of the most dominant edge rushers available. And what happens? ESPN's Jordan Reed makes the call, and he goes with Carnell Tate. Now this is where things get interesting. Tate is not just any receiver. We're talking about a player with elite hands, 0 drops last season, and a ridiculous 68.8% contested catch rate, one of the best in the entire draft class. He's got length, range, and the ability to win deep or over the middle. He's not necessarily the best separator in the class, but he's reliable, explosive, and dangerous in the red zone. And here's the narrative. With Jaylen, Waddle, and Tyreek Hill gone in this projection, Tate becomes the go-to weapon for quarterback Malik Willis. That's the vision. A new WR1. A fresh offensive identity. But let me tell you what's causing tension here. Passing on Ruben Bain Jr., that's not just a small decision. That's a statement, because Bain is widely viewed as a game-changing edge rusher, and Miami has a clear need at that position. Even the analysis itself suggests that while Tate is a great player, edge might be the smarter move due to positional value and scarcity. And it doesn't stop there. At pick 30, the Dolphins go with safety Emmanuel McNeil-Warren out of Toledo. A versatile, athletic defensive back who fits perfectly into what this new regime is building, physical, long, and capable of making plays all over the field. This is the kind of player that head coach Jeff Hafley reportedly loves. Day 1 starter potential. Then comes round 2, and this might be the steal of the entire draft. Caleb Longmu, offensive tackle from Utah, a player some believe could have gone late in the first round. He allowed 0 sacks last season and brings elite athleticism to the line. Whether he plays guard or develops into a future starting tackle, this is a long-term investment that could pay off big time. And in round 3, Miami keeps stacking talent. Derek Moore, an edge rusher with 10 sacks and 41 pressures in his final college season, brings that power-speed combination the team covets. Then Dalen Everett, a cornerback from Georgia with elite physical traits and SEC-level production. Another perfect scheme fit. Max Clare, tight end out of Ohio State, adds versatility to the offense as both a blocker and receiver. But then comes the questionable pick, T.J. Hall, a defensive back who simply doesn't match the athletic and physical profile Miami seems to prioritize. That's where things start to feel inconsistent. And this is exactly where things start to get even more intriguing, because when you connect all the dots from this mock draft, you begin to see a very clear vision forming for the Miami Dolphins, but at the same time, a vision that not every fan is going to agree with. Because let's be real for a second, if this scenario actually plays out, Miami is essentially saying, we are prioritizing offensive firepower early, and trusting that we can still build a solid defense with what's left. And that's a risky philosophy, especially when you consider how important elite pass rushers are in today's NFL. Now think about this, you pass on Ruben Bain Jr. at 11, and yes, you do come back later and grab Derek Moore in the 3rd round. But here's the big question, are you getting the same level of impact? Moore had a breakout season, 10 sacks, 41 pressures, and he clearly fits the mold Miami is looking for with that power and speed combination. But is he a game wrecker from day 1? Or is he more of a developmental piece compared to someone like Bain, who many believe could instantly change the defense? That's where the debate gets intense. Because on the offensive side, if Carnell Tate becomes what many expect, a true WR1 with elite hands, red zone dominance, and deep threat ability, then suddenly this offense could look completely different. You're giving Malik Willis a reliable number 1 target, something every young quarterback desperately needs. And when you combine that with adding a versatile tight end like Max Clare and reinforcing the offensive line with Caleb Longmu, you're building a structure designed to maximize offensive production. But again, at what cost? Because defensively, while there are some really strong additions like Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, who could step in immediately as a starter, and Dalen Everett, who fits the physical profile this coaching staff loves, there's still that lingering feeling that Miami may have passed on a true defensive cornerstone early in the draft. And let's not ignore the T.J. Hall pick either. This is where things feel a bit off. Based on everything we know about what Miami is targeting, length, athleticism, versatility, Hall just doesn't check those boxes. So while most of this draft feels calculated and aligned with a vision, that one selection feels out of place, almost like it breaks the pattern. So now step back and look at the full identity this draft is trying to create. An offense built around explosiveness, reliability, and protection. A defense built on versatility, but maybe lacking that one elite edge presence. And a front office that seems confident it can find value beyond the first round instead of forcing positional needs early. That's bold. That's aggressive. And honestly, that's the kind of approach that can either elevate a team into contention or leave fans wondering what could have been. Because if Ruben Bain Jr. turns into a superstar somewhere else, and Miami struggles to generate pressure, this decision at pick 11 will be remembered for years. But if Carnell Tate becomes that dominant WR1 and transforms the offense, then suddenly, nobody is questioning that choice anymore. That's how thin the line is. And this is where everything comes together, because when you analyze this entire scenario from top to bottom, you start to understand the kind of pressure that's building inside the Dolphins organization heading into this draft. We're not just talking about adding talent anymore. We're talking about defining the identity of this team for the 2026 season and beyond. Because if this front office truly believes in Malik Willis as the future, then giving him a weapon like Carnell Tate isn't just a luxury, it's a statement. It's saying, we are going all in on building an offense that can compete with anyone. And when you stack Tate with a reinforced offensive line through Caleb Lamo and add a versatile tight end like Max Clare, you're creating a system that's designed to be efficient, explosive, and quarterback-friendly. But championships, they're not won on offense alone. And that's where the tension still sits. Because while Emmanuel McNeil-Warren and Dalen Everett bring versatility and physicality to the secondary, and Derek Moore adds potential on the edge, there's still that question mark about elite defensive presence. Are these players enough to elevate the defense to a championship level? Or are they solid pieces without that true game-changing star? That's the gamble this mock draft represents. And here's something else that hasn't been talked about enough, the balance between immediate impact and long-term development. Because players like Warren and Lamo could contribute right away, while others like Moore might take a little more time to fully develop into their ceiling. That creates a timeline question. Are the Dolphins building to win now, or are they setting themselves up for sustained success over the next few seasons? And let me tell you, fans are split on that. Some are going to look at this and say, this is a smart, modern approach. Build around your quarterback, create mismatches, and trust your coaching staff to develop defensive talent. Others are going to say, you had a chance to take a dominant edge rusher at 11, and you passed on it. That's a mistake you can't afford in today's NFL. And both sides, they have a point. Because the truth is, drafts like this aren't judged on paper, they're judged on what happens on Sundays. If Carnell Tate is catching touchdowns, moving the chains, and becoming that reliable WR1, if Caleb Lama turns into a cornerstone on the offensive line, if Warren stabilizes the secondary, then this draft could be remembered as a turning point. But if the defense struggles to generate pressure, if there's no one to consistently disrupt opposing quarterbacks, then that one decision, passing on Ruben Bain Jr., will echo all season long. That's how high the stakes are. And that's why this wild mock draft isn't just entertaining. It's a real reflection of the kind of decisions Miami is going to have to make very soon. So now I'm asking you one final thing, Dolphins fans. If you were the one making these calls, would you stick with this aggressive, offense-first strategy? Or would you change everything and build this team starting from the trenches and the pass rush? And don't forget, if you're enjoying this kind of deep breakdown and want more exclusive Dolphins content like this, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications.